We are all aware of the drama with Rafi Devers in Boston right now, but it has reached the point where we're starting to hear some trade talk, and not trade talk from unverified, unknown bots on Twitter or any other social media, on Reddit or anywhere. No, we're hearing trade talk from guys like Bob Nightingale in his USA Today piece over the weekend. Next step could be Devers formally requesting a trade, which likely would not be strongly considered until the offseason. We've also got Ken Rosenthal in his Fair Territory podcast. A trade at some point isn't far-fetched. So the trade talk is out there, and these are two of the biggest names as far as baseball insiders go that there are. And they are both addressing it and bringing it up, giving it legitimacy. What do you think? Is Devers going to be moved? We'll try to identify the circumstances that may or may not lead to a Rafi Devers trade, whether it be in season or this upcoming off season. But this trade talk has fascinated me because until the Nightingale piece, until I heard the Rosenthal comments, I really sort of just scoffed it off. Figured, what are we doing here? How much money is he owed? How long is he there for? Bregman's going to be gone in a year anyway. The season he's having, he'll opt out. There's no point in all of this. But when Bob and Ken start talking about it, I think we need to dive into it. And that is what we are going to do in this one. Make sure to hit that like if you enjoy your time here and subscribe if you're new. Let's dig into this. Now, one element that I think might actually generate some momentum towards a trade, again, whether it be this season or in the offseason, is the current situation with the third base market via the trade and via free agency. First, via trade. There's really only two pieces that you can go out and grab. Alec Boehm, and there's some issues with the bat there, and Nolan Arenado. And he's only getting older. There is a cliff coming with Arenado before Devers falls off. Clearly, right? Arenado is much older than Devers. So Arenado will expire before Rafi. So that's your trade market. Doesn't look that appealing. As far as the free agent market, near term, we've got Alex Bregman, who could opt in and not be available on the market. And then we have Eugenio Suarez. So of the four names that are really over the next few months over the next 3 to, let's call it next January, 3 months to next January could be available, it's Eugenio Suarez. And we're going to identify really 6 teams that could be in play for Rafi Devers. And if there's 6 teams that are in play for Rafi Devers, these are 6 teams that either need a third baseman or need an upgrade at third base. Again, I think this is one of those elements that could drive the trade market for him. So who are those teams? I say I've got 6 teams that could be in the market for Rafi Devers. Let's dive into those 6 teams right now. First up, I believe the Chicago Cubs could certainly be in the market. With Tucker leaving, with Shaw struggling in his beginning, and quite honestly, I don't love his mechanics at the plate. I don't love that stance at all at the major league level. You know, it works as you climb through the minors, but once you get to the major league level and everyone's throwing gas, and if they're not throwing gas, their extension is long enough to where it looks like it's gas. I don't. Anyway, but he can move. He'll be fine, and he can move around and play in other positions. You also have Nico Horner, a free agent at the end of next season. So with those elements from a roster perspective and from a financial perspective, Presley's $14 million comes off the books. Tucker's $16 million comes off the books. We've got the money for Rafi Devers. How about the Philadelphia Phillies as a potential suitor? This would be an opportunity with to replace Kyle Schwarber. It looks like he is potentially walking at the end of the year. And with Schwarber's money, with JT Realmuto, who's also a free agent, with Max Kepler, who's a free agent, with all that money coming off the books, that's close to $50 million. That's more than enough to pay for Rafi's contract. So we have Philadelphia. We also have the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks, we talked about Eugenio Suarez. He could be on the way out. Now, Arizona is one team, and you could really probably make an argument for all 6 of these teams that they have internal candidates on the farm and down at the farm, prospects that could fill in. But if a proven entity with the bat like Devers is available, I think you have to dig into it. So with Arizona, with Suarez walking at the end of the year, with his money, with Gallen's money, and with Montgomery's money, the Diamondbacks also have the financial flexibility to afford Rafi Devers. The Dodgers have to be mentioned here with Max Muncy's issues. Again, whether it is something they do this season or it is something they do in the offseason, there will be an opening at third base for the Dodgers to fill, and Rafi Devers would be an amazing bat added to that lineup. So with the opening at third base, again, I know you have Freeland, but who knows if Freeland can hit a major league fastball yet? Nobody knows that. So we'll see as he comes along. But Devers would be, again, the proven entity, the ready now, and that's what this team is about. Ready now, go for it now stuff. So I think we cannot take the Dodgers out of the equation here. We've also got, and they have enough money freeing up as well. The Toronto Blue Jays are here. They have had a very interesting time getting any production out of that third base spot. So Rafi Devers would be an upgrade there. And from the financial perspective, with Max, with Chris Bassett, with Bo Bichette, with their money coming off the books at the end of the year, the Blue Jays have the money. Final team here is the Washington Nationals, and this one might be the curveball. You're like, why are the Nats here? Well, the Nats are here because they were the #1 landing spot by a Bleacher Report article from Kerry Miller. So I wanted to bring them in here to see, because many of you maybe read that and would kind of wonder what would a trade look like. So we'll bring them into the conversation because of this article by Kerry Miller, which is up today on Bleacher Report. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just letting you know why that the Nats are here. Outside of this, I really would not consider the Nats. I don't know if they would cover this contract. They have the money to eat it next, and LA is getting their upgrade. Max Muncy, I think the time is just over maybe for Max Muncy. He did amazing things with the Dodgers, so we'll be looking for somebody to man that third base spot for the future. Freeland is maybe that guy, but we don't know what he is at the major league level, so let's go with the surefire thing. Let's go with Devers. Let's go with Devers and not Arenado, because Arenado's got that cliff that is looming. Devers does not. You have many, many more years of Rafi Devers being a dangerous bat in your lineup. So we will add Devers to the Dodgers. We will be sending to the Boston Red Sox in this deal right-handed pitcher, the number 17 prospect, Eric Swan, and a left-handed pitcher, the number 28 prospect, Jacob Wright. Both 40, or not both. Swan is a 45, and Wright is a 40 out of 80 prospect. The Toronto Blue Jays